Hi, my name is April K. H. Lumboy from BPED 2D. This video contains my activity in MPE 7, which I am going to answer the given question. The first question is, explain the concept of relative timing. How might practitioner use this concept to determine differences between classes of movement? Then, how might the relative timing structure of dart throwing differ from the putting of shoot? Hint: think of the difference in terms of the relative speeds of the wrist, lower arm, and upper arm in two movements. For me, relative timing is a set of ratios that define the duration of several times interval within the movement. The first repetition or the movement 1 is performed in shorter movement time than the second movement 2. For me, it seems to me that they need to use the EMGs, or the EMGs can define or use to detect abnormal electricity of muscle to determine the different kinds of movement. We can calculate the set of ratios or relative timing for each of these movements by first measuring and recording the duration of muscular activity. In three important muscles involved in the action, and then dividing each measured duration by the total duration of the movement. And so after calculating the movement they execute, we know the difference between the two or more movements. Then, an activity like throwing might be thought of as class of movement containing numerous variations of the action, which is throwing of dart and putting shoot has different movement, but their similarities, they both use the muscle force to execute the movement. So number 2, what do movement scientists mean when they say that relative timing is an invariant feature of the generalized motor program? What implication does this have the performers who practice their movement at different speeds, example dancer, jugglers, rhythmic, gymnasts, and drummers? In the 1970s, scientists began to search for possible invariant feature of generalized programs. The most important invariant feature or invariance they discovered is one of the deals with the temporal or timing structure of movement pattern. This invariance is termed relative timing. Example, if you are a dancer, you need to timing yourself in the beat of music to make your dance moves perfectly. And then they need to consider that all movement we do, there are relative timing to use and measure the movement they execute. But we need to expect that all movement we do time by time or day by day has different. Number 3. Under what condition are a performer movements more especially accurate as the person decreases his or her movement time? What implication might this have for an elementary physical education instructor who is teaching children how to throw or kick a ball toward a target? We already know that movement we execute has a different in time, but has a same movement we execute. But an elementary physical education instructor who is teaching children how to throw or kick the ball, he or she need to teach it in a proper execution of proper movement, how to kick the ball and throw, through personal or face-to-face, because a children like them is not like us an adult. And we know that kicking and throwing is generalized motor program and relative timing is unique, so she need to expect that each student has a unique movement in time. Then lastly, number 4. explain how an error in a loss or level central nervous system process might cause a player throwing darts to miss the target area she is aiming for. The central nervous system, we know that consists the brain and spinal cord. It is referred to as a central because it combines information from the entire body and coordinates activity across the whole organism. So, an error in a low-level central nervous system process might cause a player throwing dart to miss the target area she is aiming for. The performer is instructed to produce the movement in a particular time, receiving feedback about the actual movement time after each attempt. In these studies, the experimenter systematically varies the instructed movement time and movement distance. That's all. Thank you.